أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم افتح لنا كتابك وسنة نبيك ظاهرا باطنا وظاهرا وارزقنا العمل بهما بجائزاتك المقدسة اللهم آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. The topic is الضمائر pronoun. So الضمائر is the plural of ضمير الضمير, which means pronoun. So ضمير is the singular, while ضمائر is the plural, mufrad and jamu. So الضمائر, this is our topic. الضمائر, pronouns. First of all, let's ask ourselves, what is the meaning of الضمير? ما هو الضمير? What's the meaning of ضمير? So ضمير means pronoun. So that is the meaning of ضمير in English language. So I believe we all know the meaning of noun. We are familiar with noun, right? So pro is a word, is a Latin word. Which means a substitute, an option, another option for noun, a substitute of noun. That is, if we don't want to make use of noun, we make use of what? We make use of pronoun to replace the noun. So in English language, you say a pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. So that is how it is. That is the meaning. So let's look at it in Arabic. More word ضمير. What's the meaning of ضمير? What is ضمير? Wasmun in Arabic is ismu, is a name. Wasmun is ismu, is a noun. Jamid, that is not derived from another word. That is stagnant. It's inflexible. It cannot change. You know, some words are derived from another word, like doraba, for example. Now doraba is constructed from what? Yedribu is constructed from what? Doraba yedribu. Though this is a verb, right? But we still have some jamid verb. So yedribu is derived from what? From doraba. So in this case, this word is not jamid. This yedribu is not jamid. Why? Because it's derived from another word. So any word that doesn't have a source, that doesn't have where it's derived from, is called jamid. So ismun jamid is a name, is a noun, jamid, that is rigid, that is inflexible. But in language, jamid means words that are not derived from another word. Is a name that is not derived from another word. Mabniyun, that cannot change, whose last sign, harakat, fatha, kesro, dhamma, cannot change from being fatha to kesro. It cannot change from dhamma to kesro, or from kesro to fatha. Once the verb, the name, once the name is having fatha, then whenever you are using it, or wherever you are seeing it, you must be seeing that fatha on it. When the name originally has kesro, whenever you are using it or you are seeing it, you must be seeing the kesro beneath it. So it's mabniyu. always taking one haraka. Always taking one haraka, whether fatha, dhamma, or sukun, or kasra. So wudi'a, that is created. Wudi'a, that is formed. That is formed liyadulla ala, to be referring, is created. The name we are talking about, the pronoun, is created to be referring to mutakallim, the speaker. Don't forget, is used to replace, to represent the what, the speaker, awil mukhatab, or the what, the addressee, the person you are talking to, you are speaking with. So the addressee or the addressed, mukhatab, the person you are facing, you are talking to, you guys, you girls, things like that. So you are addressing. Aw gaib, or the absentee, the third person. So is used to refer to the first person, which is mutakallim, the speaker, or the addressee, which is mukhatab, or the absentee, which is gaib. Al mutakallim is the first person, like I, we, I or we, first person. So al mukhatab is the second person, while al gaib is what, is the third person. So this is the meaning of domir. Huwasmun is a name jamid, that is not derived from another name, mabniyun, whose last letter is always taking one haraka. So wudi'a liyadulla ala mutakallim is created or formed to be referring to mutakallim, the first person, or mukhatab, or the second person, or gaib, or the third person. So example of that is nahawu huwa, is huwa. Huwa, for example, is a pronoun. Huwa is a pronoun, for example. And you can see, maybe I want to mention someone's name. I don't want to mention the person's name. Then I'm using this e to represent, to replace the person's name. So this e now is what, is a domir. So anta, you, I don't want to mention your name, so I represent your name with anta, you. Then nahanu, we, whom, they, ka. It also means you. So we are still going to classify all these dhama'ir to their respective places. So all these things now, I said this huwa is what, is domir. So all these domirs all together are called dhama'ir. So that is the plural. So for example now, Ahmadu alim. Ahmad alim is knowledgeable, the knowledgeable person. So is a scholar. Ahmad is a scholar. So Ahmad is a scholar. So if I don't want to mention this Ahmad, I don't want to mention the name. Maybe because I don't want to repeat it, maybe I've mentioned it before, or because you know who I'm talking about and I don't want to mention it, I'm going to replace it with what, this domir, this pronoun, that huwa alim. Meaning he is a scholar. So this e is representing this Ahmad. We are still talking about Ahmad, but only that the name is not mentioned. So it's represented with this pronoun. Anwa ad-dama'ir, types of pronouns. Anwa, types of ad-dama'ir pronouns. So yanqasim ad-damir, pronoun yanqasim is divided bihasabi zuhuri zuhurihi, according to zuhurihi, its visibility, wastitarihi, and invisibility, fil kalam, in the speech. So pronoun is divided according to its visibility and invisibility in the speech to baris. Baris, the visible pronoun, wa mustatir, and the invisible pronoun. The visible pronoun and the invisible pronoun. So all the pronouns in Arabic language are under these two categories, these two classifications. So is either the domir is baris or the domir is what is mustatir. So these two the domirs can also still be classified further, but this is the primary classification of domir, which is baris and mustatir. Firstly, let's look at baris. Ad-damirul baris, the visible pronoun. The visible pronoun. هو الذي له صورة ظاهرة في اللفظ والكتابة. هو الذي is the one, is the pronoun that له صورة ظاهرة, that has a picture, suratun ظاهرة, that is clear. ظاهرة, that is clear. So is the pronoun that has a clear picture, that you can see it clearly in a statement, like this word is what is a pronoun, that this word is a domir. So fil lafzi, in the speech, when you say it, when you enunciate it, or you write it down, wal kitaba, that is fil lafzi, in expression, wal kitaba, and in writing. So when you express it, when you say it, the domir, the pronoun, will show, and the listener will perceive the domir, the clear picture of the domir, that the answer you said is what is domir, the huwa you said is what is domir. And wal kitaba, and in writing, when it's written down, you can easily differentiate domir baris, that is showing clearly that this domir is what is baris when it's written down. So is the pronoun whose surah is clear, that has a clear picture in expression and in writing. Example of that is Anna. Anna, you can see when I mention Anna, I say it now, you can see its domir, you can see it clearly, you can see the word clearly, its picture is clear. Anna, its picture is what is clear, the structure is clear, that this is a domir. So here is also clear, is visible, you can see it, you can hear it, here you can hear it, here you can see it. So two, like two, zahab two. So Anna means I, here means she, two means also means I. But we are still going to classify this domir separately. This one is under one classification, this one is under another one, but they both mean I. So ka means you male, kum, you lot, that is many people you are talking to, kum, ustazukum, your ustaz. It can mean your and can mean you. So we are still going to look at them one after the other, but they are all everything like this are called ad-domair al-bariza, that is ad-domair al-bariz, a visible domain, the one you can see clearly. For example, when I say ana wahabtuka al-mala, ana wahabtuka al-mala, ana means I, wahabtuka Wahabutu means I gave. Ka means you. Al-mala means money. So ana, I. Wahabutu, I gave. Ka, you. Al-mala, money. So I gave you money. I gave you money. So ana is domir baris. Why? Because it's visible. The word ana is what? Is visible. You can see it, you can hear it. Wahabutu, two. You can see two, which means I. Two. The subjective pronoun is used to as a subject in a sentence. That is the person who performed the action. Wahabutu, I gave. I am the subject, so it's used there to represent the subject in the sentence. So wahabutu, I gave. So this two is domir baris, ad-domiru al-baris, visible domir, and also this ka. I hope you get the concept. Any domir whose picture is clear, I can see clearly, you can hear it clearly, is called ad-domir al-baris. So let's move further to look at ad-domir al-mustatir. Ad-domir al-mustatir, the invisible pronoun. Al-mustatir, invisible. Ad-domir pronoun. So the invisible pronoun, the pronoun that is invisible, that you cannot see. You cannot see it, but it has to be translated in a sentence. It has meaning. You have to translate it as a pronoun, but it's not visible. You can't see it. So let's look at it. Huwa alladhi is the pronoun, is the one that laysa lahu, that doesn't. You can see, is this laysa that differentiates the domir baris and the domir mustatir. The other one is huwa alladhi lahu suratun zohira fil labzi wal kitaba. But this one huwa alladhi laysa lahu. That one huwa alladhi lahu. This one huwa alladhi laysa lahu. That's just the difference. The laysa is the difference between ad-domir al-mustatir and ad-domir al-baris, the definition. So is the one that doesn't have a picture zohira that is clear. Is the one that doesn't have a clear picture. Is the one that doesn't have a clear picture fil lafzi, in expression, wal kitaba, and in writing. So when domir al-mustatir, when an invisible pronoun is used, it cannot be perceived. You can perceive it in a sentence, but you cannot see it. It's not visible. You cannot see it when making the speech, when making an expression, and you cannot see it when writing it. So let's look at the example. Uktub. Uktub means what? Uktub means write. Write. When I say write, you should know it's an imperative. It's imperative, fil amr. So when I say uktub, you already know the meaning, that it means what? Write. I'm requesting from you the act of writing. I am ordering you, I'm commanding you to write. So when I say write, I'm referring to you. There is a domir there, and that domir is what? That domir is you. Is you, which is anta. Anta. Since I'm talking to you, to perform the action, then there's a domir there, but the domir is what? Is mustatir, is hidden. Is hidden. Right. I'm referring to you that you should. I'm telling you that you should write. So another example is, let me say qatil. Qatil means fight. When I say fight, you should know there's an hidden domir there, which is anta, also you. But it's not clear. You cannot see the clear picture of that anta. When I say kataba, okay, let me include that. Kataba means what? Oh, sorry, this bar. Kataba means he wrote. He wrote, right? So where is that E here? Where is the E? Can you see the E? The E is not visible. Kataba means he wrote, right? The E you mentioned now is not visible, but is there. It's invisible pronoun. Kataba, he wrote. Kataba, he wrote. Normally, kataba means to write, right? But when it is placed under modi, under the past tense, it's going to be translated as he wrote. So kataba, he wrote. The E is not showing. Then in this verb there is what? There is domir mustatir, an invisible pronoun. So I hope you get that. So any pronoun that you cannot see but you can perceive it in the translation that there is a domir there, then the domir is called domir mustatir. So we are not going to go deep into this domir. The one we are going to lay emphasis on the most is the domir baris. We are still going to further classify. We are still going to classify it further, inshallah. But this one is not for this level. We are still going to do it later on, but not now. So let's look at the last example there, which is adrusu. Adrusu is what? Adrusu is fi'lun mudari. Fi'lun mudari. Alice, is it not fi'l mudari? Ask yourself. It's fi'lun mudari. The present tense verb. And the madi is what? The madi is darasa. Darosa ilan. So fi'l mudari which means adrusu means I am writing, or I write, or I will write. According to the previous lesson, don't forget, we are building this thing. We are building it. It's a gradual process. We've done that, so we are still making reference to it now. So adrusu, I am writing, or I write, or I will write. So where is the I in this statement? Where is the I? I write. Where is the I? The I is not there. Though this hamza is used for I, but the hamza is not categorized as domir. The hamza is not called domir. It's called what? It's called harful mudariya. Min harful mudariya is one of the mudarian letters, which are anaitu. So whenever you use any of these, whenever we use alif or nun or ya or ta, we can translate them as I, first person, we, he, you. How do we get that? So, but the fact is that these four word letters, they are not domain. They don't call them domain. They call them aharufu al-mudari, mudari letters, the present tense verb letters. Though they refer to someone, that they can use to represent a noun, but they are not categorized under domain. So adrusu, I am writing. So let's look at an example. For example, let's say ta'allami al-lugha al-arabiyya. Ta'allam, in an ordinary sense, this meme is taking what? It's taking sukun, but because of the itikal sakinin, this lamani is taking sukun. So because of this shadda, to be able to pronounce this shadda with this meme sukun, this shadda is having like one sukun and one fatha. This loga, this is how it is. Ta'allam lo is not possible. You can't pronounce this sukun and this sukun together. So this is the combination. This is what makes the shadda. This sukun and this dhamma is what makes the shadda dhamma. So you can't pronounce this sukun and this sukun at the same time. They are together. So that is why you have to give this one kesro, and it's called iltiqa'u sakinin. The combination or the coming together of two sakin, two sukun. So you give the first one kesro, and that is why this ta'allam is taking kesro. But ordinarily it's supposed to take what? It's supposed to take sukun. And we assume that the sukun is there, but it's just changed to kesro, but it doesn't affect the meaning. It doesn't affect the meaning. So as it is like this, is imperative. It's fi'l amr. It's just that the sukun is not there, but the sukun is. We assume the sukun is still there. So ta'allam, learn al-lugha al-arabiyya, Arabic language. Learn the Arabic language. So ta'allam, when I say ta'allam, it means what? It means I am commanding you to learn something. It's imperative. So when I say ta'allam, learn, that means I'm referring to you. Then there is an hidden domain there, which is what? Which is anta. So any fi'l amr you see, any imperative you see, you should believe, you should know that there is a domir mustatir there, which can be anta, which can be antuma, which can be antum, which can be antunna, and things like that. We're going to look at all these domir, but you just have to know. Firstly, you just have to know that domir is divided into two, which is baris and mustatir, and after that we can move further. I hope you understand this. That is that on ad-domir. In the next lesson, we look at ad-domir, aqsamu ad-domir aqsamu ad-domair al-bariza, or aqsamu ad-domir al-bariz. Aqsamu ad-domir al-bariz, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.